Good morning. Welcome to Tuesday. Yes, I wear the same clothes as yesterday because it's not a different day for me. I'm just making these videos all together, hopefully, to get them out of the way. What I'm going to show you today is a little bit about how to load the kiln. And so this cabinet, besides some of the clay tools that you've used in here, is mostly specifically made for kiln firings. And so I'm going to be loading your mugs. That was the low fire gray white clay, and that is going to be fired at a cone 04. So in my bin up here, I have all the different cones for some of the firings that I do. On the side over here is where I have the cones. They come in a little box like this, and I have to break them in half so they're single, kind of like that one in the center there. And then I just make sure that I've grabbed the right one, double check. Remember, if I make a mistake at this point, the whole kiln is probably just trash. And that's awful because I would hate to wreck your projects. But we've got 04 there. And then the 05 temperature is the cone that I would use to do the glaze firing when I put the glaze on your mugs. The 6, there's an 06 here. Some of our low fire glazes work better when fired to 06, but a majority of them work better at 05. So that's why I use the 05 ones. In the back, I have the cones for the high fires. So they're, whoops, my video cut out. So there's this greenish color for the high fire. So you can see there's not a 0 in front of this 5 anymore. Totally different temperature. Close that up, put it back. Okay, so cones, that's the first thing that I have to figure out is what load I'm doing and what cone I need. Okay, then I also have to determine what is getting in the kiln, and I have to set the shelf supports to the right height. So that's what these are for. This is the tallest one, I think it's 6 inches. And if anything that we're firing is over 6 inches, it's not, like, it is not safe to like put things on top of them. It's super unstable. And you would not want like all that heat and causing things and balance and anything to cause those shelves to have to shift in the firing. So usually I try to keep things under 6 inches, and so then they fit underneath that shelf. If they are higher, then I just load them at the top of the kiln before the lid comes down, and then I can, kind of set the height however I want to. So I'm going to be using this one today because most of your mugs are in that 4-inch range. So with 6 inches, it's going to have a lot of clearance. So I'm going to get a couple things set up. All right, so you can see down into the kiln here, and I've put in the 6 shelf supports, the 6-inch ones. So that's what those are. And some of your mugs are in here. So I'm going to keep loading while you watch. Here goes the shelf. Again, remember, put all those short ones down on the bottom and get my other shelf in here. In this bisque firing, the clay projects could sit next to each other and touch each other. They could sit inside each other to be fired. But because this is going to be a really small load and I have space and only a few projects, I want to spread them out so that the kiln will just fire, the heat will circulate more evenly and quicker, and it'll just go faster. So I have 2 more mugs remaining. So remember what I said about things that are too large for the 6-inch shelf supports. So that would be definitely Here, Vincent's mug is definitely pushing that boundary of 6 inches there, as is, I'm not sure whose this is. Is it Charlie's, I think? You know, it's still, again, a very high mug. So I'm just going to put them on this top shelf just so that I make sure that they're not touching any shelf bottom from a shelf that would be sitting on top of it. So that is loading the kiln. It gets a lot more tricky when I'm doing the glaze firing, and I'll definitely show that to you in another video. Thank you.